So, come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. I see you shiver with anticipation. But maybe the rain is really to blame. So I'll remove the cause. But not the symptom.
It's finally time. 2024 is here. I've done my most disappointed lists of 2023. I've done my honorable mentions for 2023. Now it's time for the 10 best movies that I've seen this year. This is my personal list. These are the 10 movies that moved me the most. And I know you guys have been anticipating to see what I would put in my top 10. And if you're not, and you clicked on this video, hopefully you will now. And we're gonna get right into it. Let's talk about number 10. Easily the weirdest movie I've seen all year, and Beau Was Afraid is one of the films I've seen this year. Saltburn by Emerald Fennell, who did The Promising Young Woman, is style and substance. A lot of people say it's style over substance, but I think that they did a lot here with this film that I really love. First of all, it's a gorgeous film, not only just from cinematography, the costume designs, the Saltburn estate, but the people in the movie, just corny, amazing looking people you just want to hang out with. And Jacob Elordi, or I always say his last name, has very much impressed me since seeing him in Euphoria. These two roles I've seen him doing, Elvis and Priscilla, and now this, I'm like, this guy is super duper legit, especially since he's like Australian and he's doing an English accent. I'm like, what the hell? And yeah, Barry Keoghan, man, Banshees of Inisherin I saw him in when he did a little clip of him doing the Joker and him being the Joker in the Matt Reeves Batman, and then also I liked him in Eternals. He's just showing that he's one of the best doing it, and he does a really great job with off-kilter roles, and this is one of the most off-kilter roles that he possibly has ever had. Throughout the whole movie, I was like, what is this guy's game plan? What is he so obsessed about? And then the ending for this film just it's stuck the landing in such a strong way that it retroactively made everything that I saw that was already entertaining that I really liked even better. And one of them, the scenes that happen in between, the graveyard scene, wow, I've never seen anything like that in a film before. And shout out to Barry Keoghan for doing that actually in real life. And the bathtub scene, oh my god, when I found out like the little details about that, I was like but still hilarious, and plays into this obsession of the middle class with the rich and how we see them. And it's like, it's not a poor eat rich, it's like the middle class damning the rich but also being obsessed. It's like how we have a love-hate relationship with celebrities and rich people, how we want to be them but we hate them at the same time. You can see that mixture happening in daily life, and this is like social media and love-hate with celebrities and rich people, but just shown like what it would look like on film. And I just was blown away by this. I was super hyped for this movie since the first trailer, and did not let me down. And that ending scene,
it's murder on the dance floor.
Enemy of Fall, the best drama film I've seen all year. Not talked about enough. I absolutely love this film so much. I'm so glad that it stayed in my top 10 so I can hype it up. A grieving wife who's just lost her husband to either potential murder or suicide has now put on trial, and she has to prove her innocence, that she is not the one that pushed her husband out of a two-story house. And the stuff that comes out about their relationship, how she gets dragged during the trial and the media, her trying to hold things together, and the little boy that plays her son, he was absolutely amazing and honestly deserves like a nomination, some kind of award. He was one of the best little kid actors I've ever seen. I don't know if the French government or courtroom is like that and real dramatic. I hear that people say it is. It was just the most entertaining I've seen a courtroom drama in a long time. Everything that was happening, the way they put things together, it was just really encapsulating. I just really love the premise of the grief and how things can just look great on the outside but be really destructive on the inside, and how it can force people into many different directions, and the ending being very ambiguous in a way where you're like, did she do it? Like, you still don't know towards the end if it's conclusive. And I really thought that this type of story deserved that kind of ending. And I think it's one of the best films of the year, and I highly recommend it if you haven't. Bottoms, my favorite comedy of the year, my favorite pure comedy of the year, because there's a lot of comedies that's going to be on my list, but I feel like they're a mixture of drama and darker themes and indie. This is a straight up comedy. It has some really strong themes about fitting in, how you treat your friends, how you treat others, dealing with high school life, but at the end of the day, all coming of age stories kind of have that, and this is like super bad, but with lesbians trying to hit on other girls and starting a fight club to get them in. Absolutely hilarious premise, something that we haven't gotten in a long time, something you see maybe in an American Pie film, or like I said, super bad, but they haven't really been doing it since we've been getting so politically correct in films. So the fact that this was so raunchy, so in your face, I was like, what? So many times throughout this film, and then just smiling throughout. It was just laugh, awkwardness, laugh. Emotional moment that really was like, okay, this is cool. And then the bonkers ending. The ending of this film will make or break it, your enjoyment for it. I see some people that didn't like the ending. I see some people that feel like it was just too much.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
I absolutely loved it because the movie just kept escalating, and it just made sense that it would just blow the roof off. This is living in a reality that's not of our own, and I was here for it. Probably the most underrated film of the year by far, and that's They Clone Tyrone on Netflix. I really wish this movie got a big theatrical campaign, a big theatrical release. I think it was in the theaters for like a week, so they could try to make it get nominated for Oscars, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like any of the performers in here are getting nominated for anything, even though I think all 3 stars deserve it. Tiana Paris was phenomenal as kind of the the escort that under Jamie Foxx's pimp. Jamie Foxx was amazing, and Don Boyega had to play multiple roles in this film, and he did a great job doing all 3, 4, 5, playing all the clones. This movie speaks to me as a black person so well, but I think it does it so well that anyone can understand it, laugh, get into the conspiracy theories that the black community have been talking about amongst ourselves forever about how they're poisoning our hair products, our food, and all these different things just to distract us while they pick us off one by one. And this adds a little sci-fi twang to it, where it also has like this old 70s comedic tone, but still feels modern. The director of this movie, he did a fantastic job directing it. It looks great, it sounds great, the soundtrack is great, it's really funny, and I really enjoyed the movie throughout. I highly recommend checking it out on Netflix. They Clone Tyrone is better than most movies that came out this year. Coming at number 6 is the white women Black Panther, and that's Barbie. And that's not to say it in an offensive way. It really is something that all the white women came out to support. It's in the statistics. I think 65% of the people that went to see this in theaters were white and women. And as they should. Margot Robbie being the ultimate white woman on screen, just representing them really well. And making a movie that's fun but has deep messages, some nuance, some right in your face. And I know some people didn't like the fact that a lot of the messages was right in your face. And is it a perfect movie? No. I have issues with the real world aspects when Barbie finally gets over the real world. It's not as fun as I wish it was, but everything that happens in Barbie land and all the beautiful messaging that this movie has about the patriarchy and how it's not only attacking women, but it's also disrupting manhood, and how we both can communicate and figure out how to destroy those structures, I think was just really strong, while also doing a bunch of different subplots about how women, if they were in charge, would do the same things that men do while they're in charge. It just shows the beauty and the faults of both genders, while also showing that the issues that we have with each other, it's not based on us, it's about a system that's above us that shows all the blame on everyone else. Not a man-hating movie, it's not a woman-hating movie. It's just a really fun time, some of the most fun I had in the theater all year, and I absolutely love this movie so much. I had so much fun watching Barbie in the theaters, watching everybody dress up. It just was just a great time, and I think that this is going to be one of those movies that grows on people as time goes. Number 5 is maybe one of the greatest films ever created, and that's Oppenheimer. We know Barbie, Oppenheimer is the story of the year. Never seen anything marketed this way. 2 giant releases dropping on the same day, and everyone chose to watch both of them, and it's so drastic. Oppenheimer, there's not a funny bone in its body. It's super serious. But I've seen someone say, if this movie was directed by anyone else and written by anyone else, this could have been a very boring, sluggish of a film. But Christopher Nolan took a dialogue-heavy film. There's really no action in this. It's just super dialogue going from scene to scene, talking about astrophysics and all this stuff that I never even learned about, but breaking it down in a way and adding emotion to everything that's happening in a way that makes this his magnum opus. Because my big issue with Christopher Nolan has been that his movies have felt cold, and you've probably heard me say that multiple times if you've been on my channel for a while. But this one and Interstellar, he finds a way to add some warmth and emotion to the crazy story that he's telling, so you get so invested not only in the plot and what's happening, you get invested in Oppenheimer himself, this incredible person that changed the world for the better and the worse, and he has to deal with the aftermath of it all. It's 3 hours, long ass movie, but I loved it so much. It felt like a 2-hour film. It just went by. When we got to the end of the film, I was like, whoa, okay, we're here already, and I didn't want it to end. Obviously, Cillian Murphy, who played Oppenheimer, phenomenal performance, definitely should get Best Actor nomination. I think that Robert Downey Jr. did one of his best performances he's ever done in this film as well, and it's just an all-star cast of really hard-working actors and top stars just bringing this movie to life. And it might not be super rewatchable, but it's a fantastic first watch. A24 always give me that one film that I absolutely love and will hold on to and preach about. Last year was Everything Everywhere All at Once. This year I thought it was going to be Talk to Me, but it's actually going to be Dream Scenario, starring Nicolas Cage. A match made in heaven that I've been wanting for a long time. Something that's really poignant, talks about something that's going on for the last 10 years in terms of cancel culture, but just even greater than that, gossip. And I'm going to talk about something that's going on in real life to explain why this movie is important, and that's Jonathan Majors. We saw everything that's going on with this trial, everything that's been said about him, not said about him, and in my opinion, he's been getting like a hit piece on him. And I've seen people say things about him after this trial was done that's absolutely not true. Is either they interpreted something wrong and now that's become Jonathan Majors, or they saw a post on X/Twitter and they take that to be truth, like someone saying that Jonathan Majors is in jail, that's why he got let go as king. That's not true. Jonathan Majors is not in jail. He's waiting for a month or two for his decision. Is he gonna get fined or is he gonna spend some time in jail? They haven't even made that decision yet. That's what this movie Dream Scenario talks about. In a more simpler manner, how we don't know these people. We hear these rumors and gossip and we just attach it to them, and then it just goes out of proportion. Sometimes it helps them, get some fame. We've seen some people who've done some kind of bad things, but people like the way they did the bad things, like a gypsy, for example, that just got released from jail, and it grows and they benefit from it in the beginning, and then as soon as you're tired of them or something they do feels off, just like Nicolas Cage character did in this film, the consciousness just turns on that person. And we've seen it multiple times, and then later on you realize, oh, this person's not as bad as we thought, but their life is already ruined. So Dream Scenario did all that and more, and it's just a really funny film, so hilarious, and Nicolas Cage gives an all-time performance in it. I've got a full review on my channel if you want me to see more details about the plot, but yeah, highly recommend Dream Scenario. Probably the horniest movie that's on my list.
What did he say?
Surprisingly, with Saltburn, with what they were doing in that film, this is definitely a lot hornier. One of the most profound films as well. Poor Things by Yorgos Lanthimos. I tried to watch one of his films before and I turned it off, and it just was not grabbing me. And this is the first one that I got to sit through, and I absolutely loved it. It's definitely one that had to be on my list. It's one of my favorite films of the year. Emma Stone had the most fearless performance I've ever seen. This movie is weird, it's wild, the concept is going to make you uncomfortable, the things that the movie talks about is going to make you uncomfortable, but I think it does it in a very proper way. It's not just people being naked and people having sex for no reason. It's a big part of the film, and you know, I can explain it, but Emma Stone explains it really well.
I am playing Bella Baxter in the film Poor Things. The human experience is fascinating to her. Sex is a major part of that.
Why do people not do this all the time?
But what she says at the end, and what Mark Ruffalo, who's amazing in this film and absolutely hilarious, that signifies the movie, that naivete, or I'm probably saying that word wrong, of people coming up, the young youth who think they can change the world because they like, okay, the older people failed, they were too lazy, or they didn't have the right ideas, not realizing history just repeats itself. You might change a little bit, but at the end of the day, things are not going to change that much. This movie, that's what this movie is really about. You get all the sex is there, all the weird stuff, the cat, dogs, and the bird stuff, William Dafoe's weird Dr. Frankenstein, the way he's burping out bubbles, and all the weird stuff in there is real cool. Love the world building, but what this movie is really about is just finding out from a very naive perspective that you can change the world, how the world will just beat you down and make you fall in line. And that's kind of what this movie, major theme was about, and I really loved it. It was so fun, so funny. It didn't make me uncomfortable at all. I just know that when I was in the theater, it made other people uncomfortable. A really controversial film, and a film that I really love, is Beau Was Afraid. This movie is an anxiety-inducing acid trip of a film by Ari Aster, who is one of my favorite directors doing it right now, one of my favorite directors of all time, honestly. And I think this is his best film overall. It takes all the elements from his first two films and just really heighten them. Joaquin Phoenix giving his better performance of the two films that I saw him this year, because Napoleon wasn't that good. And he just does an amazing job directing this. Taking someone that has extreme anxiety, parent issues, and so many other mental illnesses, showcasing what it's like from their point of view. Simplest things that's probably happening, that's probably not dangerous, it's like a dinosaur around the corner for him all the time. And if you have it from that perspective and you watch it from that perspective, you kind of understand why this is so weird, why everything is happening. Because if it was pulled, usually these movies will have it where you pull from the outside and you see like, oh, this stuff is not actually happening. He's just exaggerating his brain. But this movie never takes that route. It's always from the person who's the unreliable narrative perspective. And I think that is an amazing feat, because some less confident director was like, we got to pull out of this fantasy world and show people what it actually looks like so they can have some grounding. He never grounds it. He just goes full force, talks about a lot of different issues, and I just love this film. This is the second favorite film of the year. It was number one for a long time until my number one came out, and let's talk about that. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, one of the best adaptations of one of these characters when they go in public domain I've seen. I've seen so many people talk crap about this movie. It's so much fun. The blood, the honey, the Winnie, the Pooh.
Someone came in the mail today. These nuts. Got him.
I'm joking. It's not that's not the number one. Let's get to the real Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. Of course it is. If you go through these 10, you didn't see it yet, you knew that's what was coming. Of course not Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. I'm super biased. I'm going to tell you this right now. Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel hero. He's my favorite hero of all time, honestly. Superman being the second overall. And this movie just exemplifies Miles Morales in a way how I fell in love with him in the comics, and showcase that he's a strong character while you don't have to downplay Peter Parker as a character. He's there, and we get Spider-Man 2099, a character I love, and we get a story arc for Gwen. And a lot of people say this movie feels incomplete, but Gwen's arc was completed, and that's what this movie was really about, while Miles starts his new arc. And I just think that it's absolutely brilliant from the opening action scene. When I saw that, I was like, you know what? I'm in good hands. Because at first I was like, how are they going to top Into the Spider-Verse? That movie's amazing. And they did it. They absolutely did it in this film. This is an amazing achievement that more people should have saw. This should have been $1 billion film. If Super Mario Brothers, which is simple as hell. Love that film. Simple as hell. This should have made $1 billion because it's art. It's truly art. So many plot points about where you need to be, how you need to be, and it retroactively made Into the Spider-Verse better. which I didn't think was possible because I love that movie. It's a masterpiece, but it retroactively makes that better, and that movie makes this one better, and that's what you need to do as a sequel. Into Spider-Verse Batman Begins, this is the Dark Knight. I'm just hoping Beyond the Spider-Verse is not Dark Knight Returns, and I don't know what the best third movie in a trilogy is, but hopefully Spider-Verse does that. So yeah, love this film. Number 1 movie of the year. Should be your number 1 movie in your list. If it's not, you're wrong. I kid, I joke. But that is my top 10 films of 2023. The 10 films that moved me the most and really ignited my imagination for one reason or another. Whether it was the inspired animation like Across the Spider-Verse, Bo's Afraid, bold take on anxiety, Poor Things, bold take on sex, Dream Scenario really attacking cancel culture and showing how, and making me open up to maybe, let's really see what these clickbait articles are saying and what the person actually said before I judge them. Oppenheimer just showing that biopics can be epic and worthwhile, and in 3-hour movies can feel like 2 hours long. Barbie just being pure sugary fun but having a deep message. And a lot of movies these days, they shove the message down your throat with salt, but Barbie did it with sweetness, and you laugh along while you're getting all the different messages, and I love that as well. They Clone Tyrone, a movie that is just so dark, so fun, and so meaningful, and I really wish more people saw it. Bottoms just being sweet fun, Anatomy Fall being a great drama, and Saltburn being weird. These are all the things that I love. If you need to recommend a movie to me, look at this list and you will know. Guys, now it's time for you. Drop down your top 10 favorite movies that you saw this year. Let me know why my list is wrong or what the way you would rearrange it. And I'm really excited to say how you feel about 2023 as a movie-going experience this year. I think this is an all-time year for us in the 2020s. I think 2019, 2022, 2 years ago, and now this are 3 of the greatest film years that we've had in a long time, and I'm really excited to be growing up. Well, I'm already a grown-up, but getting older with movies going like this, with inspiring artists making movies like this. So this was really fun. I had a great time doing this, and great time reviewing and talking about these movies with everyone here in the Zack Attack Nation. I love you all, and if you're not a part of Zack Attack Nation yet, like the video, give it a like if you enjoyed your time here. Attack the subscribe button so you can join the Zack Attack Nation, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified my reviews, reactions, live discussions, and much more. You can watch more content right now.